All right, everyone, a good and a happy Monday. Happy match day here. The U.S., Belgium going to be playing later on this evening, 5 p.m. By the time you're probably watching this, maybe the match is already done. Hopefully, it's after a U.S. win. Either way, we're talking about a pretty warm forecast again heading into the day on Tuesday, although slightly cooler. And then we'll notice more of a cool down, maybe some showers as we go later on into the week. So again, today is expected to be a pretty warm evening, and we'll see heading on to the next couple of weeks. Really, this is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook from the National Weather Service, or from actually the Climate Prediction Center. Definitely noticing more of that bullseye over parts of Idaho and extreme eastern Montana, but it does include some of us. So after we get done, I think, with this next week of weather, which is probably going to bring us temperatures near, if not even slightly cooler than average on most days, we're going to see things warm back up again towards the middle part of the month of July. Now, temperatures in comparison to 24 hours ago, and we're talking about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday, up by about 5 to 10 degrees in a lot of spots. The coastal area is already beginning to see a little more of that onshore push, and that's going to help to cool things down slightly heading on to the day tomorrow for those of us farther east. A lot more for the coastal spots, and then you can see the spotty chances of drizzle. Those will be out there heading on into the day on Wednesday. And keeping an eye out for more sunshine as we go later on into the week. Temperatures generally in the mid to upper 70s for a lot of these upcoming days. Here's Westport, and things have been slightly cooler out here, and you can see why. A lot of clouds out that way with more of that marine air that is in place. Bellingham, definitely seeing clear skies, plenty of blue too showing up there, looking beautiful as that reflects off of Bellingham Bay. Port Angeles looking out over the Strait of Juan de Fuca, looking pretty nice for us there as well. And looking from our Seattle camera here in Soto out there towards Seattle Stadium. You can see things pretty quiet here. This is, again, before the match, but we're expecting as we head on into the evening that temperatures, which are right now in the 80s, to start to drop into more the 70s. We'll stay relatively warm until about 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. Then things do cool down rather nicely for many of us. Here are your temperatures out there, mid to upper 70s and lower 80s across areas closer to Central and South Sound and across more of the Kitsap Peninsula. That's where the core of this warmer air mass has been here, and you can see that right there across some of those spots that are into some of those areas where I just mentioned. That's where you have pretty much the warmest temperatures today, and probably will keep some of the warmest temperatures around heading on into the day tomorrow, albeit slightly cooler. Now, here's a look at radar. Things are pretty active as you head well off to the east there across Oregon, heading into Idaho and into Montana. Nothing to speak on, though, here across the state of Washington, and that will remain the case here as we head on into the evening. Just a few more passing clouds beginning to come on in, with a little more of that onshore push beginning to return. Now, we'll see more of that as we go throughout the earlier part of the day on Tuesday, and you can see clouds moving in from west to east as we go throughout Tuesday afternoon. So giving us more of a filtered look to the sunshine as opposed to a lot of the clear blue skies that we had here for Monday. We'll see some of those clouds move on through. Thicker cloud coverage too heading into Wednesday, and this weaker disturbance will help to produce maybe a few spotty sprinkles out there as we head on into Wednesday afternoon. Wednesday morning too, you'll keep an eye out for some of that as well. That kind of dies off. We'll head on into Thursday. Again, more of that onshore push kind of keeps things relatively cooler for us, and we'll keep more of that trend going on into Friday as well. Now, as far as what we're expecting rainfall-wise with any of this that might fall on Wednesday, maybe 1/10 of an inch. Up that way around Quileute. Most spots will see little of anything as far as measurable rainfall. And then you can see Futurecast here as we go deeper on into the week has that disturbance moving through on Wednesday and Wednesday night. Then once we head on into the day on Friday, that next disturbance will come on through. Looks like it wants to pack a little more moisture, but kind of dies off and fizzles out by the time it makes its way here across parts of western Washington. So we're expecting a generally dry forecast with this system as it comes on by. Just some extra cloud coverage, and definitely noticing a better chance of seeing some of those showers in the mountains. By the time we roll on into Sunday, things start to clear out yet again for us. Some monsoonal moisture coming in from parts of the desert Southwest. Looks like that will stay on the eastern side of the state of Oregon, as well as it makes its way up across more of eastern Washington early into next work week. So things don't look to get too out of hand with the heat. Overnight lows, relatively comfortable, low to mid 50s, some 40s out there for some of us too. Average low at 56 degrees. And then check out some of the highs here. Next 5 days, average is at 76. Tuesday will be at 78, and then the next few days will be around and maybe even more so below that number. Friday is the only other day that we get up to around 77, so that's slightly above average, and then we're back below average again heading on into Sunday of next week. then back up above average as we get into the middle part of next month. As we kind of showed you earlier, Climate Prediction Center indicating that we could see some above average temperatures heading on into that point. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything extreme, thankfully, but it is going to get just a bit more toasty, just like what we saw on Monday and what we expect on Tuesday. Here are your lows tonight: 50 degrees in Port Townsend, mid-50s around Bellingham, 51 in Quileute, and even got some 40s out there down around Shelton and in Olympia. And your forecast for tomorrow, those highs, same spots, Kitsap Peninsula, as well as parts of Central and South Sound, mid to upper 70s there, maybe 80 degree or two out that way. But generally, we are going to start to see this cooling trend take over, and so that's going to knock highs down a little bit here around some of the interior parts. Farther north and out towards the coast, that's where we'll see more of the low 70s and upper 60s. And going on into the latter part of the work week, we're going to keep things in the low to mid 70s, upper 70s by Friday for some of those afternoon highs. So seeing seasonal temperatures on the way for us with limited rainfall. Keep an eye out for that here as we head on into Wednesday, and then possibly again for the mountains as we head on into Friday. Okay, everyone, again, let's go Team USA. Hopefully they've squeaked out that win, and hopefully you have a magnificent Monday night. We'll talk to you soon.